Hello everyone, this is Ghada and welcome to my YouTube channel C-AEROTRAVEL Online Academy. Today we will learn how to encode and decode specific things in Amadeus Selling Platform Connect. Let's first introduce you to the encoding and the decoding in Amadeus. So what is encoding? Codes are used for locations, airlines, companies, equipment in the entries you use in Amadeus. Different entries exist to encode or decode, for example, airlines, city, airport codes. The encode and decode transactions allows you to either display the code for a full name or display the full name of a code. So let's say here we want to know, we will start with the encoding and decoding of the cities, okay, of the cities or the airports we use, because if you want to find availability for a specific destination, you will have to retrieve the availability or to find availability for the airport, the international airport at this country. Okay, so you need to put the code, the IATA code of the destination of the airport. So in order to know the name of this code of the airport, or in order to know the code of a specific airport, you can use the encoding and the decoding in Amadeus. So let's say, for example, we have a passenger who wants to travel to Africa, and specifically to Ouagadougou. So as you know, there's it might be the first time that you hear this country or city, Ouagadougou. So you want to know where it is located. Okay, so if you don't know how Ouagadougou is written, or how do we write Ouagadougou, the system Amadeus created an entry for misspelling or unsure spelling of a specific airline, city, whatever. Specifically for countries or airports actually. So you can write down DAN. It's the fixed comment, and then you write, for example, let's say you heard only Waga or Wag or whatever, OUA. Okay, then you put display. So the basic entry or the fixed entry is DAN plus display. And between, you write after the DAN the misspelling or the unsure spelling that you don't, and you write down enter. The system will give you that Ouagadougou. It will give you that there is actually an airport that starts with Wag. It's called Ouagadougou. Okay. Now let's say now a passenger just said, I want to travel to Italy, or I want to travel to Charles de Gaulle, to France, Charles de Gaulle. Okay, let's say you don't know the airport code of Charles de Gaulle, because here is how you display an availability, how to find a flight. Actually, you write down the basic entry, which is AN. You write down the date, which is 10 January, and as we said before, that in order to put the month, you should only use the 3-letter identification code of the month, which is the 3 letters, the first 3 letters, GAN. So here he wants to travel in 10 January from, for example, from Ouagadougou, OUA. As you can see here, Ouagadougou, the airport code is OUA, because the airport code is only 3 letters code. Okay, so OUA to where? To Charles de Gaulle. Okay. So you see, you only need to put the 3-letter codes of the airport. So let's say you don't know what's the code of Charles de Gaulle. You can write down the encoding, decoding entries. Use the decoding, encoding entries, which is, in order to know the code of a name, you write down DAN, because N stands for name. You already have the name and you want the code. So let's say here DAN, and you write Charles de Gaulle. Enter. The system will give you all the airports that start with what you have written here. And as you can see here, if you try to find Charles de Gaulle, you will find it here, Charles de Gaulle. It's A. We said A. It stands for airport. Airport Charles de Gaulle. The code of airport Charles de Gaulle is CDG. It's 22 kilos far away, and it's located in France. Okay, you can see here Charleston. It's in USA. Charles City in USA. but I'm looking for Charles de Gaulle in France. Charles de Gaulle in France, and it's CDG. Okay, طب let's say a passenger sent you a ticket, okay, a booking, and he said, I want to change my return to another date, okay, and you know, you saw on the ticket that he is returning from Charles de Gaulle, and you don't know, he's returning from CDG, and you don't know this airport for which country. You can decode, you can write down DAC, not DAN. Before we used DAN because N stands for name, we have the name. Now we have the code, so we put DAC. DAC, let's say we saw on the ticket CDG, which is for Charles de Gaulle, and we write down, and the system will give you that CDG is for Charles de Gaulle, and it's an airport in France located 22 kilos far away. Okay, so if you wanna, you remember Ouagadougou, we write down Ouagadougou. If I want to know that the name of the airport OUA, which is Ouagadougou, check here. The system will give you that OUA, it's located in Ouagadougou. You see here OUA, see it's a city Ouagadougou, but the airport of the city Ouagadougou, it's OUA airport. Okay, it's in Burkina Faso. It's in Africa and Burkina Faso. Okay, in Africa continent, in country called Burkina Faso, it's Ouagadougou. If I want to display the code of Ouagadougou, it gives me the same. See, it gives me that the code of Ouagadougou, it's OUA. This is for the countries, for the destinations. Let's say now we want the nearest 10 airports using the city name. Okay, so let's say here I want the nearest airport to Boston in America, Boston. Okay, so DA what? DAC or DAN? We write DAN because we already have what? The name, Boston. In order to check the nearest airport to Boston, to a specific destination, we write down DAN, the country, and /n. /n, and it will give us all the nearest airports from the nearest to the first one. As you can see here, BOS, it's for Boston. So Boston, the 3 airport letter code is BOS. It's Logan International Airport in USA, and it's 1 mile or 2 kilos. Give us in mileage and in kilos far away. As you can see here, Burlington, it's the second nearest airport to Boston, and it's 19 kilos far from Boston. Then the third nearest airport is Philhanston, Bedford, BED. It's 22 kilometers. See, this is for the nearest. Let's say I want the nearest airport for BOS, but I don't know what BOS is. So I write down DAC, the same entry here. The same entry. But I have the codes, BOS, the code. So instead of N, I'll write down the S. It will give us the same information. But we use this when we have the name of the airport, and we use this when we have the code of the airport, okay? This is for the name of the airport. This is for the code of the airport. Okay. Whenever you want to remove anything from the screen, you write down IG. If you are working on a specific PNR, or you're creating a PNR, you did the booking, you did whatever you did on the booking, you should always write down IG. You should always exit from the PNR, because if, let's say, I'm creating a PNR, and then the passenger went out from the office. I issued the booking, and then another passenger came to the office, and I want to issue a new booking. If I write down an availability, and I search a new availability and write down, the availability will occur on the previous one, on the previous PNR of the client left. Okay, so in order to exit from a booking, you should always write down ignore. This is for the destination and the nearest airport. Now, if I want a code of an airline, let's say I'm traveling with Air France and I don't